My shoes are squeaky. Damn. Hey, let me get one of them chips. But I can't even articulate. Can't believe I'm saying these things. Hello and welcome back to Capo TV. Today we're going back to my roots. We're going to do a how to annoy video, only this time it's how to annoy your teacher, Petty Edition. Before I get started, if this is the first time you're watching a Capo TV video, I think you should subscribe. You might like what you see. Also, leave a comment down below. What have you ever done that's really annoyed a teacher? Anyway, let's get into it. This first one is uniquely 2016, water bottle flipping. I admit, it's kind of fun. I've done it. I even made a video about it, but it's only fun the first few times. How can you spend half the day in school flipping a water bottle on a table, on a desk, on the floor? It's making that same da-thump, da-thump, ba-boom, ba-bing, ba-boom. You suck at it. Stop trying. Give up. This one's kind of a byproduct of school. When you go to school, you're forced to be with people you might not otherwise want to be around. However, there are people in your class that you don't mind hanging out with. Then tell me this, when that friend of yours does something you don't like, why do you come complaining to me that he or she did something you don't like? And then why do you get upset when I tell you, well, maybe you shouldn't be their friend anymore? What do you do after I say that? You go sit down right next to that person again and go through the same cycle for the rest of the school year. You've got to learn eventually to choose your friends wisely and watch who you hang out with. And that means sometimes leaving people behind and not being friends with them. You suck at it. I'm not sure where this one came from. And I don't know if it's only me, but why do you ask me for $1? Or why do you ask me for a stick of gum? And then why do you get mad when I say no to either one of those requests? Here's the bottom line. It doesn't matter how politely you ask for something, you're not entitled to it if it's not yours. It's my gum, it's my dollars, it's my whatever. If you ask for it and I don't give it to you, you have no right to get upset because it belongs to me. That's basic property rights. And a word of advice for others that might be watching this who have the same thing happen to them: if someone asks you for your gum or for a pencil or for a paper or for a mint or whatever, you don't have to give it to them. This is the thing that happens with food too. Hey, you got any food? Hey, let me get one of them chips. No, you don't have to give up your food for them. No, you don't have to give that person your chips. They're your chips. They belong to you. You paid for them, someone paid for them, and it wasn't that person. So stop giving up your stuff. It's your stuff.
Boom, ba-bing, ba-boom.
Like water bottle flipping, this one's also uniquely 2016. Dabbing. Why do people dab about everything? Oh, water bottle flipping and dabbing, I know they're on their way out. They're old trends, old memes, whatever. They still happen occasionally though, and it's super annoying. I just got a C+ on my assignment. Dab. Hey guys, I just opened my locker. Dab. My shoes are squeaky. Dab. That's how it sounds to me when people do dabbing now. I know, like I said, it's old. People don't do it very much because it's not cool anymore. But every time I did hear it in the past, hey guys, I'm gonna dab right now. Why?
It's your stuff.
Now, if you've watched some of my other videos lately, I'm not a big fan of school, but I do understand there are rules and it's not a free-for-all. You have to play the game. That's why it's super duper annoying when you ask me if you can leave before the bell rings in order to go do X, Y, or Z. And then you whine when I say no. This goes back to the dollar and the gum situation. People think just because they ask politely for something or they demand something loud enough, that means they're entitled to get it. Well, sorry Junior, doesn't work that way. As long as you're part of the school system, you've got to play by their rules, you've got to play their game. If class ends at 10 o'clock, class ends at 10 o'clock. You can leave at 10 o'clock. You can't leave at 9:55, you can't leave at 9:58. You can leave at 10 o'clock.
Give up.
Oh, this one kind of really bothers me. There are double doors for a reason. Just because some people are coming out of one door doesn't mean that you can't open the other door and go in. You don't have to wait for all the people to come out one side before you can go in that same side. Take your hand, put it on the handle, turn it slightly, and pull or push. I mean, if you're not pushing that second door open, you're pretty stupid too. But I can't even articulate. It's double doors for a reason. Use the other door. Don't just stand there and create a traffic jam behind you. Come on. Hi guys. This one I thought would stop maybe in 3rd grade, but I still see this in high school all the time. Why are you throwing stuff? Why are you throwing the chalk? Why are you throwing your pencils? Why are you throwing erasers? Why are you throwing little balls of paper? That's like the quintessential childish behavior. Then when you're told you're acting like a child because you're throwing stuff, you get upset? You get offended? Why? Now, you can't say, oh, I'm trying out for the basketball team. Well, guess what? A paper ball is not the same as a basketball. You're not getting any better by missing 90% of your shots into the trash can during this class, all right?
Sorry, Junior.
I feel like there's a subtle theme running through all of these. It's the idea of entitlement. Why do you whine and say, can't you just give us the answers? No, you can't just be given the answers. Like I've said in a previous video, there are rules and there is a game to be played as long as you're part of the school system. Part of that game is doing paperwork, worksheets. Now, that might mean finding the information online and putting it on the blank spaces. That might mean just moving information from one part of the worksheet to another. That might mean getting the information from a book. Imagine that. You can't just get around that process. That's the way that it is. It shouldn't be that way, but that's the way that it is. A teacher can't just hand you a piece of paper that has everything listed on it. You just write your name, and then that teacher takes it back and gives you a grade for it. That's not how it's going to work. That doesn't even make sense. What is that supposed to show that you know? At least if you fill out a worksheet, it kind of shows that you know how to read and write. Although sometimes I question even that basic assumption. There you go, that's another failing of school. It doesn't teach you how to read or write. Then again, some of you might not even want to know how to read or write. Can't believe I'm saying these things. The teacher has to have something to grade, okay? That's what it comes down to, data. If they don't have data from you to hand off to the administrators who hand it off to the state and hand it off to blah blah blah, then they're no good. And it's not good data just to hand you a piece of paper, have you write your name on it, and then take it back, just giving you the answers. That's not gonna work. Why? Now, this last one is probably the most annoying. Why are you so loud for no good reason? I have a pretty long fuse as a substitute. A little talking here or there is not a big deal. But when you are so loud that the teacher in the next room over has to call security to come check on the room, then there's a problem. A real, serious problem. I'm not really sure what else to say about this. I mean, from my perspective, as long as no one's getting physically hurt, verbally abused, or there's no fires in the classroom, school property isn't being broken, then if you're loud, okay, you're loud. But when you are so loud that people outside of the room are concerned for the safety of others in that room, yeah, you gotta stop. I think that's all the annoying things I've had on my mind lately. If you haven't already subscribed to Capo TV, you should do that now so you don't miss future videos about why school fails and how you can take responsibility for your education. Also, if you haven't left me a comment down below, you should do that too. Have you ever done anything on this list? What's the worst thing you've ever done to annoy a teacher? I guess until next time, thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.